Well, good morning. It's good to see you all back again this week. I trust that these past 7 days have been you've been safe and have been doing okay. I thought today to talk a little bit more about community. I was reading this morning from Father Richard Rohr's daily meditation. His meditation for today was entitled "The Foundation of Community," and he shares these words from his book, The Divine Dance. He said, "For God to be good, God can be one. For God to be loving, God has to be two, because love is always in relationship. But for God to share excellent joy and delight, God has to be three, because supreme happiness is when two persons share their common delight in a third something together. All we need to do is witness a couple after the birth of their new baby, and we know this to be true." And so for there to be great delight and joy, there needs to be a community of three, the divine community of three, that two can be in delight of another. And so we come together as a community of 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or 20, and wherever we are, we come together and we share our delight in God, in our relationships with one another, in our families. And so to talk about that sense of community where we share delight and joy, I thought I would read just briefly a few cards that I have received and that others around the office and on the staff have received from some of you, expressing your great joy and delight in community. I'm not going to divulge any names here. "We appreciate all the efforts of yourself, your crew, and good old Chuck filling in for an entire choir throughout this. Thanks to all, it's greatly appreciated. It has been such a comfort watching and listening to you and the Good Shepherd crew throughout Easter and into April." Another writes, "Everything seems strange these days, doesn't it? Even this mailing in of my pledge, but we are keeping close to Good Shepherd electronically. Many thanks to all who are making this possible." Another writes, "We look forward to worshiping together again at the regular services." Boy, don't we. But then they write, "In the meantime, we enjoy the newsletters." And a final one writes, "We miss the fellowship at church, but are thankful that we can attend online. Thanks for all you do." And so that's just a sense that, we continue to be in community and continue to be together. And we are, I think, appreciating one another, maybe in some ways more than we ever have. And so I see there are many benefits that are coming out of this, along with obviously the fears and the concerns that we may have. And so as you move through the rest of this week, may God's blessing and God's peace and God's presence be with you. Keep in touch with one another. I know I was talking with Bob Sawyer this morning, and he's got his list of people he's going to call to check in with. Why don't you take a moment to check in with somebody from church as well? Desiree and I were out in Grand Palm community on our bicycles last night, and we went by Melissa's house and gave her a phone call, and we ended up on their lanai and safe distancing and having some conversation together. So find ways to make a phone call, to stop by and be safe and say hello to people. Have a good week.